slow conductor. If you further reduce the conduction through AV node and no from atrium current does not pass it through AV node down, then of course circuit will break down and re-entrant tachycardia will be terminated. Is that right? So it means that in these patients with Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, when re-entrant tachycardia is precipitated, the main mechanism by which you can terminate the re-entrant circle is by inhibiting AV node. Now you know how AV node can be inhibited. Yes. Number one, you can give calcium channel blockers. Calcium channel blockers. You know, if you give calcium channel blockers to AV node to the patient, AV node is very, very sensitive to calcium channel blockers. And when, let's suppose, normally AV node is working like this. This is AV nodal electrical activity. But once you have given calcium channel blocker, number one, this phase is reduced. Number two, threshold is increased. And then even calcium dependent depolarization, that is slower. So all this process will reduce the conduction velocity through the AV node, or AV node may be inhibited. If it is fully inhibited, the circuit will break down, right? So one way is use calcium channel blocker. Other way was that you could use vagal stimulation. Another way to do that is that you can use vagal stimulation, and vagus can be stimulated by a drug which is called digitalis. Every student knows that digitalis loads the calcium into cells, myocardial cells, and it is positive inotropic drug. But very few good students know that digitalis can also stimulate the vagus nerve, and it is a vagotonic drug. So digitalis can increase the vagal influence on AV node, and you know when vagus releases acetylcholine, in last lecture we have seen what happens. Hyperpolarization. So under that influence, the situation will become like this. Number one, that resting potential has gone, AV node has become hyperpolarized due to vagal acetylcholinergic influence. Secondly, slope is also reduced, right? And third mechanism of inhibiting the AV node is of course beta blockers. That adrenergic drive to AV node is reduced, and beta 1 receptors on AV node are blocked, and they cannot stimulate the AV node, and AV node is not loaded properly with the calcium and sodium, and slope is reduced. So is it clear, easy to understand, that in patient who is having tachyarrhythmias, re-entrant tachyarrhythmia, and patient already have Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome, one of the strategy could be to terminate the tachyarrhythmia is inhibit the AV node. AV node can be inhibited by calcium channel blockers, or digitalis, or by beta blocker. Right? Adenosine we don't use here, or we can be used, but usually we don't use because it may precipitate again. So we want for some long time action, right? Now listen. Calcium channel blocker, what they will do? They will reduce the slope of phase 4, plus they will increase the threshold potential. Digitalis is a vagotonic drug, and acetylcholine is more, and that will hyperpolarize the AV node, and plus what else it will do? And reduce the slope. And beta blocker purely reduce the slope. Am I clear? There's no problem. That's good. Now we come to functionally defined tachyarrhythmias, or functionally determined tachyarrhythmias. What can you do there? Now we come to those situations in post-MI situations or similar situations.